Roger Goodell has decided that the NFL has become too unbalanced, with teams like the Bears, Patriots, and Panthers becoming way too overpowered. He's decided there's only one way to fix this, and that is by putting every NFL player into one big draft and letting their teams pick their players and build up their roster from zero. So today we are starting a new era in the NFL where we reset everything, teams have entirely new players, and just overall everything is completely different. So join me today as I start off this series by picking my team and building up my roster from zero the way Roger Goodell made it. So on top of these big changes Roger Goodell made in the league, they also decided to forcefully hire Matt Canada as head coach of the New York Giants. I know it wasn't my decision, it's what the league wants, and it's just what's gonna happen. And for those of you wondering why the Giants, I just picked a random team, and I just kind of thought of Matt Canada on the spot, so that's what we're rolling with. So I'm the new head coach of the New York Giants here, and we're gonna be starting off a fantasy draft and picking up our team. So the NFL is doing us no favors, having us pick at pick 30 in the first round. Oh man, this is going to be tough. I haven't even looked at everyone that's available, but you see guys like Aaron Donald, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, all solid players. Roquan Smith is here, Derrick Henry, Dexter Lawrence. There's a lot of solid players here still at pick 30, so we do definitely have plenty of options to choose from. Unfortunately, guys like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, guys like that, I can't really think of anyone else off the top of my head. Those guys are all gone, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We do still have plenty of options here, and I'm going to take a second and think over who I want to draft, and then I'll pick it back up in a second. So after looking through my options, I took a few minutes to decide. With my first pick, I am going to be selecting none other than defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. We're going to keep him in New York. I want to build up that defensive line early, get as high as quality players as we can as possible because, pass rush is very important and stopping the run is very important. So we're going to work on that with our first pick. I know Aaron Donald is here, but he's also 32 years old and Dexter Lawrence is like 25, 26, I think. So we're going to go with him here because he is a lot younger. So yeah, we're going to take him here. As you guys see here, as you saw, 95 overall. He is 25 years old, so that's great. Superstar X Factor, definitely a solid pick here in the first round. So I didn't realize this is not a snake draft, so we are picking at pick 30 in every single round. So that's just great. So this is going to be even tougher to build up a roster here, especially when all the good players are going to be going to a lot of other teams. But there are still plenty of options here. I'm going to take a quick second to look over and see who we're going to take. So with there being quite a big run on receivers early in this draft, I figured I have to get involved so we can get someone before all of the 85 plus overalls are gone. So here in the second round, I'm going to take Devontae Smith. So if you guys know me, you know I love to throw the ball. And the best thing you can do in a passing offense is have two solid young receivers. So here we are going to be taking Chris Olave here in the third round. Now here we are in the fourth round. I was targeting TJ Hawkinson, but unfortunately he got picked. So I still do want a tight end. There was one guy I had my eyes on. And since he is still here, I'm going to take him before any other team gets him. Here in the fourth round, we are going to be taking none other than tight end Kyle Pitts. Now with a pretty solid receiving core on our team, we need some offensive linemen because there is a huge run on offensive linemen. And, picking at 30th, we haven't really been able to get after many. So we're going to go for one here. We're going to be taking left tackle Colton Miller here in the fifth round. So it's been a while since I took anyone on the defensive side of the ball. Haven't taken anyone since the first round. So we're going to focus more of our attention here onto the defensive side of the ball. Here, we're making our first pick in the secondary. We are going to be taking DJ Reed Jr. And with our next selection, we are going to continue to bolster up our secondary here with taking strong safety Kyle Duggar. And like I told you guys, I want to build up that defensive line. I know I really haven't done that, but we're going to do that here in the 8th round by picking up defensive tackle Ed Oliver. So back on the offensive side of the ball, we only have one offensive lineman, so there are plenty of holes to fill on this offensive line. and we are going to fill one right here with left guard Tyler Smith. Now here in the 10th round, I was looking at some running backs here, and one caught my eye, none other than Devon Achane. Here in the 10th round, we're going to be picking him up. So I'm sure you guys are wondering who our kicker and punter will be, and we will get to that later on in the draft. Right now, we have another position to pick. I'm going to reveal who our quarterback is, and it's not really who I was thinking going into the draft, but, it's how the board fell. We are going to be taking none other than Will Levis here as our quarterback. So get the mayonnaise ready. He's going to be our starting quarterback here in this series. So now with our quarterback situations settled, that's a tongue twister. Not really, but I can hardly talk right now. We need an edge rusher. And so here in the 12th round, we are going to be taking none other than Zach Seiler. I don't know how to say that last name, but we're drafting him. Now here in the 13th round, we have yet to take a linebacker. So I was just looking through everyone, and I noticed Ernest Jones was still on the board. I really like him, so that's who we're going to be taking here in the 13th round. And with a young quarterback under center, we want to give him as much protection as possible, which is why here in the 14th round, we are going to be taking center Connor Williams. And there are still some holes on our secondary, so here in the 15th round, we are going to be taking cornerback Patrick Peterson. Now here in the 16th, I almost said 18th, the 16th round, we still need a secondary edge rusher. So we are going to be taking Leonard Floyd here in the 16th round. Now, as we're here in the 17th round, I figured I would give you guys just a quick little update, and my controller just disconnects as I do that. A quick little update as to who's still available. I already know who I'm going to take here in this round, but I'm just giving you guys a little bit of an update, just showing you guys who's all available here. I'll probably go to like 40 or something like that. There is still some solid players here. But, yeah, here in the 17th round, I already passed by him, but yeah, those are the top 50 players here that are still remaining. But yeah, here in the 15th round, the 17th round, I'm going to be taking wide receiver Nico Collins. And I know all of you guys watching this would absolutely love to see me take Josh Metellus here, since we do need another safety. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to take Josh Metellus here in the 18th round. I'm not sure how many rounds I'm going to draft through. Maybe 25, something like that. I don't know. I'll let you guys know when I'm on my last pick, but I'm still going to go pick by pick and just show you guys who I draft until I sim the rest of it. So it is important to continue to build up our offensive line, with the young quarterback, and we're probably going to have to rely on the running game pretty decent amount. We're going to be taking right guard Will Hernandez here in the 19th round. Here in round number 20, we do still need some help in the secondary, as we only have 2 corners right now. We need a third, so I'm going to be taking cornerback Troy Hill. Now, since we only have 1 linebacker on the roster right now, I decided I would go ahead here in the 21st round and draft EJ Speed. And since Devon Achane is an elusive back, we did still need a power back on our team, and James Conner is still available here at pick 22. So I've decided that we are going to be taking him here. This might be my last pick, might not be. Well, probably not. There's some people that I was looking at. If they're still available, I'm gonna take them. But it's probably not my last pick. Now here in round 23, I think I'm gonna make 2 more picks, but the first one of those 2 will be Will Dissly, tight end. Okay, so I decided I'm making 2 more picks. That's it. Then I'm gonna sim the rest of the draft. Here in the 24th round, I'm gonna be taking right tackle George Fant. Now, this is for sure my last pick. I've decided it's my last pick. I'm going to be taking linebacker Nakobe Dean with my final pick here in the 25th round. I'm going to sim through the rest of the draft, and then I'm going to go over my roster, as well as I'll just go over some of the top players in the league and where they ended up going. All right, so the draft is simming here, and I guarantee you this CPU is going to draft like 3 more quarterbacks for me. I don't know why the CPU does that instead of focusing on other positions when you already drafted a quarterback, but I don't know. This is actually my first fantasy draft in Madden 24. Well, I did one earlier today just to kind of test it, but that wasn't I only picked 3 people, so that doesn't count. This is my first real draft where I'm actually drafting players. So yeah, we're coming up on round 49. I think it goes to 55 rounds. So yeah, I'll show you guys my full roster depth chart in a second. So surprisingly, the CPU only drafted one other quarterback, which I'm honestly surprised since they love to draft multiple quarterbacks, but they didn't draft me a fullback, so I'm probably just gonna sign one in free agency. So yeah. But yeah, this is the offense that Matt Canada is getting to work with. I really like our receiving core with Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, and Nico Collins. And then we got Kyle Pitts at tight end and Will Dissly as our tight end number 2. I think that's a pretty solid, and my controller disconnects again. I think that's a pretty solid receiving core for the young Will Levis. And then we got Devon Achane and at running back. I can barely talk as well. I think our offensive line on the left side especially is pretty solid. I think the offensive line is pretty decent. I mean, it'll get the job done, so that's what I like to see. But yeah, overall the offense, what's the offense rated? 85 overall, so I'll take that. The team is at 83 overall in general, so I'm going to pick up a fullback in a second, so yeah. So just there'll be a fullback in a couple seconds, but here's the defense. The defense is rated at an 81 overall. I think the defensive line is not what I wanted when I pictured it, but I think it's gonna be pretty fine. I was pretty caught off guard when I realized it wasn't a snake draft, so I feel like that really messed a lot of things up. Especially because we didn't get any of the 87 plus overall corners, but it's Madden, so a 62 overall receiver is gonna burn him anyways, so who really cares? But I might make some moves. Well, probably not, because it's impossible to trade after a fantasy draft anyways, but I think we can make it work with this defense. The defensive line is gonna have to generate a lot of pressure, and I think they can do that, especially on the interior. I think they'll do a pretty good job at that. Secondary, I think the secondary can do their job. It's just a matter of, will Madden cost us like it usually does? But I guess we'll see. The defense is rated an 81 overall, which I understand because there's a lot of 70 overalls. Well, there's 4 or 5. But you know what? It is what it is. I think we can make it work with this defense, though. It's not really star-studded, but at the same time, it doesn't really have to be in order to make it work. I think this defense can fit my play style. But yeah, I moved it to a 4-3 since it was set at a 3-4. And I like running the 4-3 better, so I did that. I also picked the Chiefs playbook because I like the Chiefs defensive playbook. But offense, it is going to be the I cannot. On offense, it is the New York Giants offensive playbook. So I didn't mess with that. Special teams, we did not get a kicker or a punter. Okay, whatever. I'm going to sign one really quick. So I figured I'd show you guys quick. I signed Kyle Juszczyk because he was a free agent for some reason. There was a lot of kickers and punters in free agency as well. So I think Justin Tucker was probably the only one drafted because there was a lot of kickers and punters in free agency. I got AJ Cole, who I believe he's the highest rated punter in Madden 24, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. But I also got Matt Gay. He was the highest rated kicker available. And yeah, there was a lot. Like I said, there was a lot of kickers and punters in free agency. So I don't really know how many were drafted, but anyways, we're going to go over just some of the top players in the league really quick just to see where people ended up. So first and foremost, we see Justin Jefferson went to the Broncos. Great pickup for them. Patrick Mahomes to the Bills. I'm not going to go player by player. I'm just going to skip through. Just so you guys can see, where these guys went and everything. You guys want to slow the video down, you can. But I'm just going to go through like this. I don't know how far I'll go, but I'm going to keep going for some time. I think I saw, who was that? Quinnen Williams was that on the Eagles, so that's a division rival picking up a pretty solid defensive lineman. I was thinking about taking him in the second round just to pair him with Dexter Lawrence, but I decided not to. But yeah, there's some players that went back to their old teams, like Chris Lindstrom and Josh Jacobs as well. There's some players that got drafted to their old teams. Harrison Smith as well. But for the most part, Amari Cooper back to the Cowboys. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. Probably just go to the last 90 overall there. Well, I guess I'm gonna keep going, but yeah, those are I'm gonna stop right here. Those are where the top players in the league ended up going. So I figured I should show you guys this. I'm gonna be playing on all Madden 7-minute quarters, simulation game style. I think I'll probably play like one every 3 games, something like that. I don't know, but I guess we'll figure that out. I do have injuries off just because this is all for fun. It's not like a rebuild or anything like that. This is all just for fun. Have some fun with this fantasy draft. I don't know how many seasons I'll go. Maybe 3, something like that, just to see if we can win a Super Bowl or 2 or 3. I guess it really depends how much you guys like the series and everything like that. So it's all dependent on if you guys are enjoying the series or not. But yeah, with that being said, just looking ahead, we're going to be facing Myles Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys in week 1. So that'll be a fun matchup. But yeah, I'm going to end the video off here. If you guys made it all the way to the end, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate that. I'm excited about starting this series off. If you guys would like to see more of this, make sure to let me know in the comments. I'll upload, whenever. I guess we'll see. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching all the way into the end, and I will see you guys next time.